Smackdown to a rogue left-wing, low-level district court judge who have relentlessly tried. The highest court in the land made it clear. Power to protect our homeland. Thank you to the Supreme Court for upholding the rule of law and protecting the Constitution.
The Senate Judiciary Committee hearing room buzzed with anticipation as Karoline Leavitt sat across from Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. At just 27, Karoline, the youngest White House press secretary in history, had built a reputation for her sharp confrontations and aggressive questioning. Today, she was ready to challenge Justice Jackson's record on criminal justice reform, convinced that she had prepared the perfect critique. Karoline began her attack confidently, citing what she believed were troubling rulings by the justice. She quoted cases like Williams v. State of Maryland, Henderson versus Federal Bureau of Prisons, and Thompson versus United States Department of Justice, accusing Jackson of judicial overreach and leniency toward violent criminals. The audience, including legal scholars and reporters, grew tense, expecting a gripping exchange. But there was one major flaw. None of the cases Karoline cited existed. Unbeknownst to her, Leavitt's research team had fabricated entire legal records, hoping to exploit the complexity of law for an effective political stunt. As she continued her attack, Justice Jackson, calm and composed, silently prepared to expose the glaring inaccuracies. The moment was unfolding live on C-SPAN, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. Justice Jackson, having spent decades mastering constitutional law, took a measured approach. As Leavitt finished her presentation, Justice Jackson quietly removed her glasses, cleaned them, and began her response. She began by addressing each of Leavitt's fabricated citations. Starting with Williams v. State of Maryland, she calmly informed the committee that no such case existed. "I have served on the federal bench for over a decade," Jackson said, "and I have never heard of a case called Williams versus State of Maryland." The first crack in Leavitt's defense appeared as she quickly shuffled through her papers, trying to recover from her mistake. Justice Jackson continued systematically, correcting every fabricated claim with precision. The case, Henderson v. Federal Bureau of Prisons, was non-existent, Jackson asserted, and the quote Leavitt had attributed to her regarding lenient sentencing for violent offenders misrepresented her judicial philosophy. Jackson then turned to the most significant claim, Thompson v. United States Department of Justice. Leavitt had accused Jackson of undermining constitutional protection. Jackson responded calmly, explaining that the Fourth Amendment, along with all constitutional rights, is not negotiable. "This statement is so contrary to basic constitutional law that I'm genuinely concerned about how it made its way into your briefing materials," she said. The room fell into stunned silence as Jackson methodically dismantled Leavitt's attack. Legal experts frantically fact-checked on their phones, confirming the truth of Justice Jackson's claim. Leavitt's confident expression began to falter. She stammered when asked for a response, but the damage was done. Jackson's patient and authoritative fact-checking had exposed Leavitt's lack of legal preparation, turning her aggressive attack into a humiliating exposure of fabricated information. The incident quickly went viral. Clips of Justice Jackson's calm yet devastating response were shared across social media platforms, with the hashtag #Leavitt School trending. Legal experts and commentators expressed shock at Leavitt's failure to properly research the cases, with many noting that such mistakes were unthinkable for anyone trying to engage in serious legal discourse. The political consequences for Leavitt were immediate. Conservative commentators who had supported her began distancing themselves, while even the White House press briefings became awkward as reporters pressed her on her credibility and research method. For Justice Jackson, the incident was a win for the credibility of the judicial system. She had defended the integrity of the law with poise and precision. Her calm and methodical correction of Leavitt's errors became a textbook example of how expertise should respond to misinformation, not with political theater, but with factual accuracy. The fallout from the confrontation wasn't just limited to Leavitt, it became a moment of reflection for political figures across the country. As the legal community rallied behind Justice Jackson's principled defense, the broader public learned a crucial lesson in the importance of accuracy in political discourse. What had started as a challenge to a Supreme Court justice had turned into a masterclass in constitutional law and the importance of factual research. The viral nature of the event ensured that millions of Americans would now think twice before fabricating legal claims for political gain. In the aftermath, both Jackson and Leavitt faced the consequences of their exchange. For Justice Jackson, her calm, fact-driven approach to public discourse solidified her status as one of the nation's most respected legal minds. For Karoline Leavitt, the incident marked a turning point in her career. While she remained in her position as press secretary, her credibility on legal and constitutional matters was permanently tarnished.